Good morning, church family, and happy Sunday. It's me, Mr. Ted, coming to you from the Sanctuary in Heritage Presbyterian Church. It's a great Sunday. I'm so excited to get a chance to come and talk with you. This is a place that we spend a lot of time, and we spend a lot of time focusing on the cross. And we all know the story of Jesus dying on the cross. Today's story comes to us when the disciples are talking to Jesus, and he lays down some pretty heavy stuff. He tells them what it's going to mean to be a follower of Jesus. It's not that easy. Let's take a look.
Jesus began telling his disciples what would happen to him. He said, "The nation's leaders, the chief priests, and the teachers of the law of Moses will make the Son of Man suffer terribly. He will be rejected and killed. But 3 days later, he will rise to life." Then Jesus explained clearly what he meant. Peter took Jesus aside and told him to stop talking like that. But when Jesus turned and saw the disciples, he corrected Peter. He said to him, "Satan, get away from me. You are thinking like everyone else and not like God." Jesus then told the crowd and the disciples to come closer. And he said, "If any of you want to be my followers, you must forget about yourself. You must take up your cross and follow me. If you want to save your life, you will destroy it. But if you give up your life for me and for the good news, you will save it. What will you gain if you own the whole world but destroy yourself? What could you give to get back your soul? Don't be ashamed of me and my message among these unfaithful and sinful people. If you are, the Son of Man will be ashamed of you when he comes in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. I can assure you that some of the people standing here will not die before they see God's kingdom come with power."
In our world, we spend a lot of time focusing on ourselves. We focus on the things that we do. Maybe we're on swim team, or we're on soccer team, or we're a student, and we lose the importance of focusing on Jesus. We spend so much time focusing on ourselves that we forget to focus on Jesus. We have to remember that to really be a follower of Christ, we need to spend time with him and not so much on the things that we want to do. Faith is very important in that. And I have another little object lesson to show you what does it mean to have faith and follow Jesus.
Hey kids, Pastor Robbie here, along with my lovely assistant and wonderful daughter, Sadie.
Hello.
And today, we're going to have some fun learning about living by faith.
Living by faith? What do you mean by that?
Well, it means that if we're Christians, we believe that Jesus is God's Son, and that he died on a cross and 3 days later rose from the dead. And if we believe in him and follow him, we'll live forever in heaven with him even after we die.
Yeah, I already know all that stuff.
Yeah, I know you know it, but do you live it?
Do I live it? What are you talking about?
Well, let's take a look at today's Bible verse. It comes from 2 Corinthians 5:7, where it says, "For we live by faith, not by sight."
What does that mean? I always thought seeing was believing.
Seeing is believing, sometimes. But as Christians, sometimes we have to believe without really seeing.
What do you mean?
Well, you already said that you believe that Jesus was the Son of God, right?
Yeah.
And that he died on a cross and rose 3 days later, right?
Yeah.
And that if we believe in him and follow him, we'll get to live forever in heaven with him even after we die.
Of course. So what's your point?
Well, my point is, you didn't really see him die and come back, did you?
Well, no. But I believe it's true because of what the Bible says.
Exactly. You have faith. And we all have to have faith, but sometimes that's easier said than done. Let me demonstrate this for you with a little object lesson I like to call I Don't Believe It. All we're going to need is some water, a couple of Pyrex beakers, a Pyrex stirring stick, and some Wesson oil. Now, if I fill this beaker with water and then put the stirring stick inside, it's pretty easy to see, isn't it?
Of course, it's right there.
And that's how most people live. They've got to see it to believe it. But if we take another beaker and fill it with Wesson oil and then I put the stick inside, most people would never believe it's in there
Why not?
because it seems to disappear. Watch.
That's amazing! Where did it go?
Oh, it's in there. And that's what it's like to live by faith and not by sight. As believers, we see things through a different lens than non-believers.
What do you mean?
Well, let's take a look at this other little beaker, and if I could put this one inside, same thing. We know this beaker is real, but voila, it disappears.
Unbelievable!
Let me show you another trick. Let's take this other beaker that has both oil and water. The oil is on top, and when we put the stir stick inside, we know it's there, even though you can't see it until it comes to the water.
Cool!
If I pull it back, it's hidden again, but is it in there?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
of course.
How do you know? You can't really see it.
I just know.
That's how faith works. As believers, we have to live by faith, not by sight. And the best way to do that is by reading the Bible, so we can become very familiar with what is true. Let me give you one more example. Do you see this huge vase filled with water?
Yeah,
Well, what's in there?
nothing, just water.
Are you sure?
It is just water, right? Because if it were oil, there might be some Pyrex sticks hidden in there.
Oh, it's water all right, but not just water.
What do you mean?
Well, why don't you reach in there and see what you pull out?
See what I pull out, but there's nothing in there.
Have faith, child.
Okay, here goes nothing. What in the world? Where did these come from?
They're Orbeez balls, which become invisible in water.
Amazing! I'll never doubt you again.
Well, it's just like when Jesus appeared to doubting Thomas. He said, "Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed."
So, even though I've never seen Jesus in person, I'll be blessed by believing in him?
Exactly. Living by faith is a beautiful thing.
Well, I hope you enjoyed those videos. Enjoy your activity today. Hopefully, you can focus on who Jesus is this year in Sunday school. Have a great week, guys. I'll see you soon.